Tonight on News 5 Live, Public Service Union gets its way, vaccine mandate shelved. Jasmine Hartin appears in court, but her file is a no-show. And Pine Ridge drugs destroyed by law enforcement. But will other cops get pulled into narco-trafficking? Details of these stories and more coming up in tonight's newscast.
It's a fact that your credit lasts longer when using Smart. During these times, we're all trying to find ways to cut costs and save the little resources we have. With Smart, it's easy to do that. It's a fact that with Smart, your credit lasts longer. You can call Smart to Smart and Smart to Digi using your promo credit, while with the other guy, you can only call OnNet, Digi, or BTL numbers. What does this mean? You get to call any national number using your promo credit. Your promo credit is free, so that call is also free. Know your facts. Don't be tricked by the other guy. Be smart and save your dollars.
You inch your way to the edge of the board. Once you leap, there's no turning back. Your heart begins to race. You need to make a decision. Are you in or out? Join us for our brand new series where we dive deep into what it looks like to make God our Lord of all or not at all. God doesn't want just the dip of our toes or a wade in the shallows. He wants all of us. We're in or out.
The Social Security Board, in collaboration with the Labor Department, takes this opportunity to remind insured persons of the requirements for compensation when on sick leave. Any employee who has worked with an employer for at least 2 months is entitled to 16 working days of sick leave with full pay every year. This is how it works. Upon approval of a sickness or injury benefit claim by SSD, 80% of the employee's weekly insurable earnings is paid as a Social Security benefit, and the difference in the employee's salary is paid by the employer. This is to ensure that the employee does not suffer any loss of wages when ill. After 16 days, compensation for sick leave is paid as a Social Security benefit only. Some conditions apply. This message is brought to you by the Social Security Board and the Labor Department. Social Security Board, safeguarding you, your family, your future.
Season's greetings from all of us at Atlantic Insurance. We know this year has been particularly difficult for us all, but while many see reasons to lose hope, we are constantly finding reasons to hold on tighter. Let's continue to cherish and give thanks for the things that matter most in our lives and know that we will get through this together. Thank you for your loyalty throughout the year, and we remain committed to serving and protecting you with excellence and understanding. May the true meaning of the holiday season fill your hearts and home with love, peace, and joy. This holiday season, respect the rules of the road. Drive safely. Don't speed. Don't drink and drive. arrive safe and alive. Wishing you a Merry Christmas and a New Year of hope, health, and happiness.
This newscast is brought to you by the Belize Bank Limited. Our country, your bank.
Good evening and welcome to News 5 Live for Thursday, December 9th. I am Sabrina Daly. Public officers worried about the pending deadline to show their vaccination cards when they report to work on December 15th have gotten a reprieve. This evening, a joint release from Government of Belize and the Public Service Union announced that deadline has been postponed indefinitely. The Minister of the Public Service, Henry Charles Usher, Minister of Health and Wellness, Michelle Shabat, and the President of the Public Service Union, Dean Flowers, met on Tuesday, and the outcome was that the vaccine mandate will be, in the release's words, postponed until such time it is deemed fit and unavoidable, end quote. The Union and Government of Belize say they will work together to compile statistics, such as the percentage of vaccinated public officers, COVID-19 infection rate within the public service, mortality rate among public officers, and the sickness benefit cost associated with the disease thus far. Then, guided by the outcome of the research and based on the data collected, the parties have agreed to work together to promote the effective enforcement of the safety protocols. There may be then a gradual introduction of a vaccine mandate. 25 bales of cocaine went up in flames today. The drugs were seized by law enforcement 2 weeks ago after a narco plane crash landed in the Mountain Pine Ridge area. Since then, the cocaine was being held at a secure location under police guard. But today, that payload was transported to an undisclosed location, where police says it was all destroyed. News 5's Paul Lopez has the details, with the help of our colleagues from Plus TV.
Early this morning, we led a convoy from an undisclosed location to enable to destroy the drugs that was found there at the Hidden Valley. We escorted the drugs to that location, after which the drugs was destroyed in the presence of the witnesses. We usually do it in presence of the GAP, the magistracy, also the scenes of crime and the forensic personnel, senior police officer present from the prosecution section.
Once at the location, law enforcement officers began the process of destroying the drugs.
Upon reaching the location, all the drugs that was found initially was shown to the witnesses, after which each parcel was taken out of the bags. they were presented to the forensic personnel who take samples. If you were there at the location where you see samples was taken to ensure that the product that is in the package is the same drugs that was found. And after that, it was cut and thrown into fire so that it could be destroyed.
A police officer used the machete to chop into each brick of cocaine. One by one, from the chopping block to the fiery furnace, they went.
We are happy that we managed to get the drugs first of all. Every little drugs that we get, I know this is a small dent in the drugs world, but it's significant for us because that is drugs that will not be going back for consumption by the public. So that was significant for us, as well as we have disclosed local persons who are involved in drug trafficking, including one of our own who has been charged for this offense as well. So it's a significant fine for us.
This is the Belize Police Department's second drug destruction exercise in less than 3 weeks. On November 16th, they burnt some 1,800 pounds of cocaine. All this cocaine coming into Belize by plane is connected to the regional narco-trafficking trade. Efforts to track these planes in the air, then later make a bust on the ground, keep local authorities on their toes. In most cases, the drugs are removed and the planes destroyed before authorities arrive on the scene.
It takes a lot, and you've known before I was leading that team that was searching for the drugs in the Hidden Valley. It was a task, tremendous task that we had to go through, but we knew that we had to come up with the drugs. We knew that those persons were involved, and we had to prove to the public that we have evidence upon these people. So it was key that we found the drugs, so it was a success for the department and for in wider the public.
Sprinkles of cocaine left behind at the scene of today's destruction, far less than what would have made it to the streets were these officers not successful in this latest bust. Reporting for News 5, I am Paul Lopez.
There are reports that an aircraft was flying low over Belize on Wednesday night. ACP Greenwich confirmed that authorities were tracking an aircraft that eventually made its way into Guatemalan airspace.
As usual, we are always sleepless night trying to deal with these narco-trafficking. Yes, we were following a track that was declared, and the plane did pass over Belize as usual, and it went into Guatemala. And we're still waiting for further details from our counterparts to see if it had been apprehended or whatsoever become of it.
Is there any truth that it was flying or circling over Belmopan?
Yes, it did.
Okay.
It did.
ACP Greenwich was also asked about the selection process for officers to respond to reports of suspected drug plane landings. With the recent incidents involving police officers, the question lingers: who can be trusted?
Police selection will always be the same. Like what Commissioner had always said in interviews, police officers are not angels. We are not separately from the public. We have been persons from the public. It's just that we have to ensure that we continue to champion to them about the integrity, honesty, and that we could trust them, because the public depends on us at all times to ensure that our integrity is at a high standard. But to tell you the truth, I'm sure this will not be the first or the last or the second time that law enforcement nor persons of national security are involved in these type of activities. I believe that the cartels do need us, do need persons from our end, national security officers, in order for them to carry out this mission. So it won't be the first nor the last.
The manslaughter case against Canadian national Jasmine Hartin was adjourned to February 16, 2022. While that is when Hartin will be receiving complete disclosure in the case, it is also the date for her appearance in the San Pedro Magistrates Court for charges of possession of an illegal drug and common assault. Today, a News 5 team was out on the island as we continue to follow this case.
As was scheduled, Jasmine Hartin reappeared in the San Pedro Magistrates Court today to get the rest of her disclosure in the manslaughter case for the shooting death of Superintendent Henry Jamot. But as we found out today, everything did not go as planned. Around 8:30 a.m., Jamot's sister and niece made their way up the steps to the courtroom. Minutes later, Hartin comes from behind the fire station and also makes her way up to the second floor of the police station building. After a short wait, we filed into the courtroom of Magistrate Christina Pereira, where the proceedings commenced. However, the file was not forwarded to Prosecutor Corporal Andrews from the DPP's office, and as such, a request for an adjournment was granted. The Canadian national returns to court on February 16th, where at that time it is expected that complete disclosure will be made. It is also the date set for another case against the embattled Hartin for possession of an illegal drug and common assault charges. All this transpired as Jamat's family sat across from Hartin inside the court. The tension was palpable, and following the proceedings, Jamat's sister broke down outside the court. Hartin denied comment to News 5 and left the area. Marie Sol gave a brief statement telling News 5 that the family expects to get justice.
So the woman where basically went on international television and admitted that she did pull the trigger, whether by mistake, accidentally, she did admit that she pulled the trigger that killed your brother. Seeing that woman in person.
I ask God to strengthen us at this time. Leave everything to God.
Hopefully the family could get justice, right?
They sure will. Our family will get justice.
Dwayne Moody for News 5.
Coming up, tourism picks up on La Isla Bonita and so do road improvements. Details when we return.
Merry Christmas, Belize! And to make it merrier, Brothers Habet and Habet have some great gifts for you. Like 15% off all decorative paints. That's Penta, Domestic, Dutch Boy, Berger, and Valspar. 15% off all power tools from top brands like Stanley, Black & Decker, DeWalt, Skill, and Bosch. 15% off Simpson generators and pressure washers. And 15% off Sunlight windows and doors. Plus, check out our clearance section with lots of good stuff, from 30 to 60% off. And of course, we're giving away $500 gift certificates to 12 lucky customers every day for our annual 12 Days of Christmas giveaway. Every $50 you spend gets you a chance to win. The merriest place to be this Christmas is Brothers Habet and Habet. So stop in today to pick up your gifts and fix up the place.
This holiday season, simplify your shopping list and gift a Samsung Galaxy. Whether you're looking for a device for your bestie or your in-law, there is a Galaxy for everyone on your list. Enjoy the affordable awesomeness. that the A-Series lineup offers and get 1-year local warranty only when you purchase from authorized Samsung resellers. Get a chance to win up to $10,000 in prizes when you shop any Galaxy A-Series phones or tablets this Christmas. Capture the laughter, share the joy, gift a Galaxy, and make it a Samsung Christmas.
We remain committed to providing safe, reliable, and sustainable energy solutions for communities across Belize. As part of BEL's Rural Electrification Program to expand our service to remote communities, we have been visiting and consulting with residents and leaders in remote and developing communities in southern Belize. We are also collaborating with partners in the energy sector to determine innovative energy solutions for these communities that take into consideration their unique needs and distance from the grid. Belize Electricity Limited is committed to providing safe, reliable, and sustainable energy solutions for communities across Belize.
Christmas is around the corner, and the Mega Progressive Jackpot is now at $604,380. Now is the time to get in the game so you can get your hands on all that mega cash. Christmas can come early for you this Saturday, December 11th. You don't want to miss it. So get your tickets and tune in to the show that airs live on Channel 5, Radio Bahia, and Love FM at 8 p.m. This is your chance to win big. You can also watch online on Facebook or YouTube. Just search for Belize Mega Bingo. Over $600,000 is waiting for you, so don't miss this opportunity. Mega Bingo is the game.
It's almost time when we change the drums for the Christmas bells. And you know that when Christmas season starts, we celebrate big at Channel 5. How big? It's our 30th anniversary. That's right, the Big 3-0. And this year's Gimme 5 will be packed with fun, entertainment, and big giveaways. The show starts on December 6th and runs through December 10th, starting at 7:30 p.m. nightly. Coupons are now available for 25 cents each on our Channel 5 website and at our studios on Coney Drive. Fill out your coupons and bring them into our compound. And remember, starting December 6th, when the phone rings, don't say hello, say, "Gimme 5."
The COVID vaccines that we have available are very effective and safe. And it is very important for elderly persons and frontline health workers and other frontline workers to get it, because these vaccines protect you from becoming ill if you get COVID.
As COVID-19 vaccines are approved for use in the general population, monitoring for safety continues. Each COVID-19 vaccine goes through the same clinical trials and rigorous study as with all other vaccines, with the focus on safety and efficacy.
Nothing goes into the nucleus, nothing affects the genetic code of the human. It is a very safe vaccine. This is a vaccine that we all need to take because it will keep us safe.
Vaccines bring us closer.
While our News 5 team was in La Isla Bonita, San Pedro today, we decided to check in with Mayor Wally Nunes as the island town was buzzing with tourism activity. While the numbers are not as high as they were in 2019, the mayor says the prime tourist destination is rebounding.
The tourism numbers are going up, and that shows something very good for us, for the island, for the economy. The people are getting back to work, so we want everybody to go back to work. We want our economy to increase and to be rebounded as it was once before, as we all know, back in 2019 when everything was what we used to call normal, right? Yeah. But everything has been going steadily increasing, which is quite good. It is good for us because, well, we can see a lot of places opening back, people getting back to work. And we know that with that, people will be able to pay their bills and be able to buy food. And it has been a problem here on the island. Over 60% of the people have been vaccinated here on the island. People are taking it very seriously because we know that we depend on tourism. And the people here on the island have been going out to get vaccinated, which I am very happy and proud to say that that we have managed to get most of our people or our workforce to go out there and get vaccinated.
When Mayor Wally Nunes took over at the San Pedro Town Council earlier this year, it wasn't without controversy. The accounts were dried up and the financial state of the council was grim, with debts in the hundreds of thousands. Some employees were terminated, but as the mayor's strategic plan took shape, the revenue stream started pouring in. Mayor Nunes says that they've had to get innovative because the COVID-19 pandemic had shuttered businesses, but they are gradually rebuilding the council accounts.
We encountered a council that was fairly broke. We only had for like one payroll more when we came in, and we were in debt. Actually, we are still in debt, but we were on the banks. We had 2 overdrafts, which were roughly around $700,000, which we cleared in the first 3 months. And in all honesty, Dwayne, if we didn't have all these bills, we could have done a lot more for the island. We could have done so much more. And I put myself and I think, what were they doing before? Because this island should be in a different rank with the amount of tourism, with the amount of income that is generated here. We could be in a different level. And just coming into the council and noticing that we have so many bills and so many things that we have to pay, it is very unfair. But we decided that we will work for the people. We had to find innovative ways how to bring everything online. We're venturing into online payments and getting everything back, steadily going into the right direction. As you know, that the council has a new system, the new system now that we are on. Everything is because of, we want to show the people that we are transparent, we're accountable. Even the bridge fees, we're going to be able to show the people how the bridge fees are being used, how much is being collected. So it's going to be invested back to the people.
If you take a drive around the island, you would notice a lot of infrastructural activity in San Pedro. That is because for weeks now, the council has embarked on several projects to bring relief to residents who have been clamoring for upgrades to major thoroughfares. As News 5 found out today, 35% of works have been completed along 7 miles of road in communities on the north and south sides. The aim is to get the streets fully paved by the end of 2022.
Most of these areas have been neglected for many years. And all of these areas, what we started with is the main streets. That's what we're working on now. We have a plan for all the main streets, and then from there we're going to branch off to the smaller or the other areas that we are not doing at the moment. But I just want to ask the people out there, just be patient with us. We will reach there. We have, on the phase 1, we have done 35%. So we still have 65% to finish, but we are moving along so that we can reach as much as possible, because the different areas are quite spread apart. Right now it's in phase 1, as I said, that we're filling up the holes so that people can pass, and then we're going to be rehabilitating it in a way that we're going to plan the drainage system and how we're going to pave it.
Affixed to the ongoing road rehabilitation project is the construction of a new bridge linking the north and south sides of the island. The town council has invested about $500,000 into the current bridge, which had deteriorated and was in need of repairs. Construction is due to begin at the end of December on the first phase of a two-lane crossing.
The repairs when we came in, it roughly went about $500,000 in just repairs. So with that, you can see how our revenue collection has been used. I mean, we have not only been paying bills, but we have had to be doing patchwork all over the place. And apart from that, we have our plans to fix the streets and to rebuild the bridge and to build a new bridge on the side. So the existing bridge at the moment, there was a lot of work done so that we can buy time in order for us to do the new bridge, which would be right adjacent to it. We're going to have to work with them, with the tour guides and tour operators, because we might have to close the canal for a certain time of the day. We're doing the logistics of how it's going to work, but work should be starting before the New Year's, so that they're going to start the piling and everything that needs to be done before they start to do the work. But it will be a concrete bridge, full concrete. And once that is finished, we're going to divert the traffic to that side so that we can dismantle the old bridge and do it with concrete as well. So then we're going to have like a two lane. Before, when we used to have the ferry, the little ferry that used to carry across, it used to be like a luxury to go up north. But now the amount of businesses that we have up north, and you know, Secret Beach that has been developing very fast. Within the past 6 years, Secret Beach went from nothing to what it is now. So you can see the development increasing here on the island, especially in the north. And here in town, it's limited. The space is limited. So everything is expanding up north. So we know that businesses are going to be developing up north.
Even as the prime tourist destination is seeing a rebound, Sargassum continues to be an eyesore, incurring costs for the council and hoteliers. Mitigating the natural phenomenon continues to be a new mandate of the council.
The town council is always working with the sargassum. This is a year-round problem that we have, and sargassum has been there for many years. It's not like if it is something new. It's just the bloom of it that we have had so much of the sargassum, and the council, along with the private sector, with the different hotels, different resorts, we have been working on trying to mitigate the problem. But you know that it is quite impossible to deal with it 100%. So BTB has talked to us that they want to assist. They actually assisted with some of the cleanups, and we are in collaboration with BTB. We're going to get some of the machinery, the rakes, beach rakes, so that we can work on it a little better. Thankfully, right now with the cold fronts, we're not going to get much on the beach because most of it is blown off the beach when you get a cold front.
Coastal communities and islands across the country have been experiencing erosion as one of the many effects of climate change. In San Pedro, it is no different. Beaches have been washed away and the sea has gradually inched closer to some properties. Mayor Wally Nunes says that the council is planning to carry out a land reclamation project. The scope of the project is about 25 feet out for about 1 mile of seafront on the southern end of the island.
Due to climate change, most of our beaches have been eroded. And I have been directed to go to the group from climate change so that they can assist us. We might want to venture into writing for grants so that we can get some funding so that we can do some beach reclamation.
This reclamation is going to happen in which areas?
Mostly here in town, from the Boca del Rio area to about the primary school, which is roughly around 1 mile of beach. And the plan would be to extend about 25 to 30 feet out.
That's the amount that has been eroded over the years?
Yeah, some of it has been a little more. You can see it in front of the high school. It has been eroded quite badly, to the point that the vehicles are actually riding right on the beach, right on the water side.
After the break, something new to add to your Christmas preparations. Why you should schedule your booster shot sooner rather than later. When we come back, but first, here's a look at the latest COVID-19 figures.
Game hot right now, dog.
Tell him, we got it, though.
Boy, watch the time. Close to curfew. I seriously tired of live like this, dog.
Yeah, I feel it, bro. But you still don't get vaccinated, Joe.
Boy, I just no trust. I guess I'll get wrong to that.
You need to get on that. We know how this thing spread, and we can stop it. Only some people say the play last. No offense.
But I just see a lot of weird stuff online.
Yeah, but bro, the evidence clear. Vaccine work. And people at hospital, almost all, not vaccinated.
Yeah.
So if you're really tired of live like this, then get vax, bro. Simple.
For real. Yeah, but I will have close to curfew and I don't want to catch on charge, so later man.
Vaccines save lives and greatly reduce the risk of transmission, hospitalization, and death. Get vaccinated and let's get back to normal.
UNICEF commemorates 75 years as a leading organization working for every child in Belize and around the world. Join in this milestone celebration on Saturday, December 11th for a time of reflection on UNICEF's history, achievements, and the fundamental stakeholders involved. The event will be aired here on Channel 5 and streamed on Facebook and YouTube commencing at 4:45 p.m. Participate in fun trivia to win awesome prizes online. For every child, UNICEF celebrates its 75th anniversary of service in Belize.
We have been a partner with SMART for over 10 plus years. We have a full SMART plan we use as our major driver for our business. We have a service that rolls over in that if you call one and it is busy, it rolls over to the next line. So once you call us, you can get us at any time. Before we got this SMART service, we were paying upwards of nearly $2,000 in phone bills. Since we've had our SMART service, we pay an average about $600. So we've had tremendous saving, more than 50%. For the businesses, if you want to save money, switch to SMART because it is far more cost effective and the service is excellent.
SMART continues to be innovative in bringing new technology and meaningful savings during these challenging times to businesses across Belize. Sign up for our VoIP technology or broadband packages and save more.
Morning, B.
Ready for full laybox?
Yes, man. Just grab the rope and I will put on the camera. My name is Jasmine Hartin. I'm a commercial fisherman out of San Pedro, and I've been fishing my whole life. We've been noticing that each and every time we go out, we have to find further grounds. So when I heard about the program, I found it as a very good business opportunity. Other fishermen, when they go out, they tend to bring in everything and anything, and that's what me and my crew don't do. We practice responsible fishing.
Just show me how the app works, G.
Easy thing, bro. All we gotta do is we're gonna put in how much fish we catch right here. Today we get 15 pounds of champagne and 30 pounds of queens. We have punch that in, and that's all. Oh, one more thing.
While the number of persons who turned out for their COVID vaccinations has risen sharply over previous months, the overall number of persons who have gotten the jab is still fewer than 50%. Up to Tuesday, when Cabinet was briefed by the Minister of Health, 48.7% of the population had received at least one dose of the vaccine, and 45.6% had been fully vaccinated. But according to Deputy Manager of the Central Health Region, Dr. Melissa Diaz-Musa, the number of persons targeted to take the vaccination is fewer than the entire population. So the percentage of fully vaxxed persons is significantly higher than 50%. It actually stood at around 67% of the adult population.
July of this year, I think it was July 1st, when all phases were opened up and everybody was welcome to come in to get vaccines. At that point, we saw a sharp increase in the number of persons being vaccinated. I believe 50 or 60,000 people in a short period of time. When we look at the percentage of persons vaccinated with 2 doses, it's just about 45% when we look at the overall population. And for persons with 1 dose, like you quite rightly said, it's just below 50%. 49%. But when we look at the target population, that's when the numbers go higher. Because Belize, we have a very young population. So we've got to keep in mind that we don't have the 5 to 11 vaccines available in Belize. We do have from 12 to 17. So if we look at the population from 12 and up, it's just over 300,000 persons. So we have approximately 125,000 persons who aren't eligible to get vaccinated at this point. So there are different ways of looking at the percentage. We've got to really improve on the 12 to 17 as well, because that number remains pretty low. We're urging parents to bring their children in, especially looking at January. We know that many schools will be reopened in January for hybrid learning. So we need to get the kids vaccinated as quickly as possible. Although, yes, it's true that children may not have the severity of disease as the elderly or as persons with comorbidities, children play a very big role in transmission of disease. They may have very mild symptoms. The parents might not realize that they're carrying the COVID virus, and they continue to spread the virus. And we've seen that. I mean, this is something that from experience, we've seen children being moved from family to family and the virus being spread through the child.
Diaz-Musa urges people who have still not gotten their vaccinations to do so. According to figures provided by the government, just about 50% of the age 12 to 15 population, or a little less than 24,000 of the eligible children, have been vaccinated. In 2 bright spots in the vaccination efforts, Belize Water Services announced this week that 99% of its staff had been fully vaccinated. The Anglican clergy have also reported almost 100% of their members being fully vaccinated. With just days now before Christmas, you may want to get your booster shot to protect yourself and your loved ones during the holidays. The Ministry of Health and Wellness began to offer COVID booster shots in the latter part of October. Since it was opened up to everyone, a little over 10,000 persons have received theirs. People in the Belize district accounting for 4,000 of those shots. In fact, In recent days, Dr. Diaz-Musa says that the majority of those showing at the vaccination sites are people who want their booster shots.
Actually, when the Ministry of Health and Wellness announced boosters, it was mainly targeted for healthcare providers as well as persons 60 years and over. And so that was basically the plan to do that. Wasn't very difficult because we were able to then go distribute to hospitals, clinics, to all the healthcare providers these boosters as quickly and efficiently as possible. Persons over 60 were also coming in to get their boosters, but approximately 2 to 3 weeks after, the decision was made to open the boosters up to anyone 18 and over. And things are rapidly changing because of the introduction of the Omicron as well. So the decision now is for the boosters to be given at 3 months after the second dose and 2 months after the 1-dose vaccine, which is the J&J. And we have the Pfizer vaccine readily available here. So that would be the recommendation for us to give for anyone who has already been fully vaccinated. You can come in and get your booster. Now you do have a choice. And the persons who have decided and asked for AstraZeneca, we go ahead and give. But we do recommend that Pfizer is the booster showing improved efficacy and improved antibodies once you get the Pfizer booster.
So we can mix the Pfizer booster with AstraZeneca vaccination? And
that's right.
Dr. Musa said that, like the full dose of the vaccines, the booster also takes around 14 days to have maximum efficacy. The Belize Nature Conservation Foundation has awarded 2 conservation organizations grants amounting to $74,000. The handing over ceremony was held this morning at the Guanacaste National Park in Belmopan. News 5's Paul Lopez filed the following report.
2 environmental conservation agencies received grants from the Belize Nature Conservation Foundation to continue the work they are doing in their respective fields.
My name is Eli Miller. I'm the chairman of Monkey Bay Wildlife Sanctuary. First of all, I'd like to thank everyone at PACT and at BNCF for their hard work during the grant approval and selection process. I know we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you guys, and just excited for the opportunity.
The project really for us is to strengthen the volunteer program of the Community Baboon Sanctuary so that we can build our capacity to implement our management plan 2021-2026.
The Community Baboon Sanctuary Women's Conservation Group was founded in 1998, while the Monkey Bay Wildlife Sanctuary was established in 1991. BNCF granted $36,000 to the Monkey Bay Wildlife Sanctuary. BNCF also gave $38,000 to the Community Baboon Sanctuary.
Monkey Bay was one of the first privately protected areas established in Belize, and since that time our primary mission, along with land management, has been environmental education for both Belizean students and students visiting from abroad. We've poured a lot of energy into that mission over the years, and as a result, we've kind of just taken a back seat, or the land management portion of our mission has kind of taken a secondary role. But as time has gone on, we've noticed more and more threats and a need for having a concise management plan for our sanctuary.
The activities of the project would be to renovate the volunteer house that we have there so that we can bring in the volunteers that we really need to build the capacity of the CBS. We are also going to conduct a market assessment of the entire Belize River Valley area, including Rancho Dolores Wildlife Sanctuary, and because we have learned a lesson from COVID, and so it cannot be that we depend on tourism alone. So we need to conduct this market assessment to see what is marketable in the Belize River Valley so we can diversify from being solely dependent on tourism.
The Belize Nature Conservation Fund was established under a debt for nature swap signed in 2001 under the Tropical Forest Conservation Act agreement with the U.S. government. Originally referred to as the Pact Foundation, BNCF manages an endowment of close to $3 million. Amanda Acosta, chairman of BNCF, explained that the funds allocated to these projects derive from the interest of the endowment.
The Tropical Forest Agreement in the Act, it's actually goes to the Congress every year. A congressional report is produced and sent to our representative in the U.S. And the U.S. Embassy is part of the Oversight Committee, actually, as is the Nature Conservancy and a couple different NGOs. So it has a very robust reporting mechanism. So the 4 beneficiaries of this Debt for Nature swap back in 2001, we report on the deliverables, what we have done with the interest. Again, it is the interest. So for the Belize Nature Conservation Foundation, the interest this year varies annually, and so it amounted to the funds that were allocated today, plus obviously some management fees that have to be paid for project management.
Up to 38 grants have been closed under the project. PACT continues to support the foundation as partners in the management of its small grant program.
We will continue supporting the work of public protected areas and private protected areas, like the two private protected areas that we're supporting today. And we will continue with the vision that the foundation will remain a very key partner in the conservation finance landscape in Belize.
Reporting for News 5, I am Paul Lopez.
The National Trade Union Congress of Belize is joining the international observance of International Anti-Corruption Day. This year's theme is Your Right, Your Role. Say no to corruption. To mark the day in Belize, the NTUCB is calling on the Briceño administration to take concrete action towards implementing the United Nations Convention Against Corruption, which Belize signed on to 5 years ago on November 30th, 2016. A release from the umbrella union organization says, quote, Belize has not made any major significant moves to fully implement UNCAC. The UNCAC steering committee has not yet met for the year 2021. Outstanding is the second cycle review in which Belize will be reviewed on Chapter 2, Preventative Measures, and Chapter 5, Asset Recovery of the Convention. The NTUCB calls on all Belizeans to do their part, exercise their right, and utilize their role in saying no to corruption. End quote. Just ahead, cancer patients and their families now have a new place to turn to, right in Belize City. But first, here's a weather update with data from the Belize Met Service.
With RF&G Insurance, you can request a quote, renew a policy, purchase a policy, and even file a claim effortlessly with WhatsApp. Here's how. WhatsApp the words "Get Started" to 670-8700. We will prompt you to select the service that you are interested in. Select the service and answer a few simple questions. An RF&G representative will process your request and follow up with you when your transaction is completed. It's that easy. Skip lines and WhatsApp us. Remember, it pays to get it right with RF&G Insurance, a road group company.
Taking its name from the venerable father of the nation, the George Price Highway stretches 77 miles from Belize City to Benque Viejo. Originally built in the 1930s, this cross-country highway system is the artery that links Belize to Central America at the western border with Guatemala. That connection facilitates overland trade, supporting Belize's economic development. Winding its way across the scenic countryside, The George Price Highway from Roaring Creek to Esperanza has been fully reconstructed to meet international standards, with particular emphasis on road safety. A shorter and hassle-free commute is best enjoyed when everyone obeys the traffic laws. To reduce the number and frequency of road traffic accidents, it means that a seatbelt must be worn at all times and the speed limit observed when traveling along the highway. It also means that pedestrians must use sidewalks and crosswalks where available. Buses should only board and discharge passengers at a designated bus stop. Road safety is everyone's responsibility. It begins with you.
Hey, have you gotten your Benny's dollars yet? If not, well, now is the time to do so. Why, you say? Because after December 31st, we will no longer be redeeming or issuing Benny's dollars. But don't worry, because in 2022, we will be celebrating our 75th anniversary. And we have new and exciting promotions, some great events and reward programs lined up just for you. Collect your Benny's dollars when you shop at any of our locations and redeem for cool gift items. And we have massive deals going on right now, so you can enjoy store-wide discounts. Remember to fill out the ticket portion for a chance to win the $10,000 grand prize on December 23rd. So stop in and shop to get your Benny's dollars and great deals only at Benny's. Benny's, Benny's. Oh, Benny's.
With eCash, bill payment is extremely convenient, and all utility companies accept eCash payments. What's even better? You get to split bills with your roommates, siblings, or whoever you desire. Simply open your eCash app, go to Bill Pay, tap the respective utility company, enter the information, and pay the bill. Then tap the transaction made. Tap Split the bill. Select Evenly. Send the request to who you are splitting the bill with, and get notified when they pay. Talk about making life easy and avoiding confusion. You can split the bill for restaurants, grocery stores, and for any eCash payment you make. To find your next yummy meal, hair treatment, or chill spot, simply open the app and utilize the geolocation service to see nearby businesses that accept eCash. Geolocation and bill payment make life a whole lot easier.
Bringing people together has always been SMART's mission and passion. That is why we are proud to have built a locally independent quality network from the ground up that spans the country with over 100 sites. We continue to add more affordable mobile data packages, broadband speeds, and voice services to meet your personal and business needs. SMART has set the standard of true competition with the most competitive prices on all services offered. We invite and welcome you to join the SMART family, where the value for your dollar matters. SMART will continue bringing new technologies, more affordable prices, network expansions, and people together. SMART, bringing people together.
The Belize Cancer Society has long been offering cancer care information, counseling, and support to cancer patients and their families. Today, the Belize City office on Mercy Lane opened a cancer care facility where cancer patients can go for actual treatment and care. The opening came through kind and generous donations from some business people and their families who have been supportive of the Society's work since its inception. Marion Ali was present for the opening and filed this report.
13 years after the Dangriga Cancer Treatment Center was opened to treat patients, its Belize City branch was opened today. Medical Director of the facility, Dr. Ellsworth Grant, told News 5 that there was an urgent need for a center that is more centrally located.
A majority of the patients are from the city and from up north, and so having a center in the city will help to serve the needs of the patients in the city as well as from those up north a lot better, making care a lot more accessible to them in terms of, principally in terms of travel. If you have to come from up north, that's an all-day journey, whereas if here in the city, you cut your travel time.
CEO of the facility, Delon Pascasio, says once you get that bad news, you can seek their help.
Anyone can come here. As our sign says over there, everyone is welcome. Whether we see individuals with, on our side, which is the treatment side, with a confirmed diagnosis of cancer. But this facility is actually in partnership with the Belize Cancer Society, and their piece of it is more the education, the awareness, the linking of support, and the navigation of individuals who need to get somewhere. The information is gathered as part of the referral package, and the clinical information is sent to Dr. Grant, and that's sent electronically. He will respond to that information within 3 to 5 days, unless there are additional testing that he wants done. Once he has looked at all of it, then he sends a treatment plan. The nurse who is here contacts the patient and say, we have a treatment plan for you. Could you come in and talk to us?
One of the persons you will likely meet is Nurse Pauline Okolo, who is really the one who will walk with you every step of the way.
Focus, try be as, as calm as possible as the nurse to be able to counsel these patients, these cancer patients. So it's not easy, but we do it to the best of our ability.
While the facility will not offer radiation therapy for complex types of cancer like brain cancer, it will cater to people who are suffering from almost any other type of cancer.
This facility will offer consultation services as well as chemotherapy services. And the chemotherapy to treat lung cancer, breast cancer, colon cancer, some of the lymphomas. I should not forget our pediatric patients who, in Dangriga, we have been doing, collaborating with Dr. Gonzalez in Merida to provide care for those kids. But again, having something closer to them in the city will improve their life, their quality of life as well. And we hope to continue to improve on their survival from leukemias. Cervical cancer, chemotherapy for cervical cancer, colon cancer, lymphomas, prostate cancer treatments could all be done right here in the city.
The level of treatment for these types of diseases are usually accompanied by steep medical bills, but the treatment for people who cannot afford the cost can be subsidized by donors. Those who can pay will be asked to. Reporting for News 5, I'm Marian Ali.
Dr. Grant says that while statistics are scarce on most common types of cancers in Belize, from his observation, cervical and breast cancer are still among the most common. Up next, and happy 30th anniversary to News 5. Tonight, we take you behind the scenes in making the news. Stay with us.
What is the Pfizer COVID-19 vaccine? The Pfizer COVID-19 vaccine is an RNA vaccine that triggers our immune system to develop antibodies against the SARS-CoV-2 virus that causes COVID-19. It helps to reduce hospitalization, severity of the disease, and death. What is the Pfizer vaccine made of, and is it safe? The Pfizer vaccine is made up of mRNA messenger ribonucleic acid, which are molecules that carry the genetic information needed to make proteins, lipid, salts, and sugar. It is safe for persons 12 years and older and does not contain the COVID-19 virus, hence cannot cause infection. Tests have shown that the vaccine is effective against current virus variants. Who should take the Pfizer vaccine? The Pfizer vaccine should be taken by persons 12 years of age and older who do not have severe allergic reaction after a previous dose of vaccine or have not had severe allergic reaction to any ingredient of this vaccine. 2 doses of the vaccine are required 3 weeks apart. If you are between the ages of 12 and 17 years, you are required to present a signed consent form before you are vaccinated. What are the side effects of the Pfizer vaccine? Some common side effects of the Pfizer vaccine are headache, fatigue, muscle pain, fever, chills, and swelling at the injection site. If side effects persist, contact your doctor as soon as possible. Does the Pfizer COVID-19 vaccine prevent infection and transmission? No, vaccination alone does not prevent infection and transmission. We are still required to continue to wear masks properly, physically distance, wash and sanitize hands often, practice proper coughing and sneezing hygiene, and avoid crowds.
Es un hecho. Únicamente con Smart obtienes todo realmente ilimitado. Solo con Smart obtienes datos ilimitados en cualquier momento. Mientras que con el otro proveedor solo son datos dobles los fines de semana. Con datos ilimitados todos los días no hay necesidad de esperar, así que es un hecho que nuestros planes ilimitados superan a la competencia. Por lo tanto, no permita que le digan cómo y cuándo usar sus datos. Y obtenga llamadas, mensajes de texto y datos ilimitados. Vive la verdadera experiencia de planes ilimitados con Smart. Es un hecho. Haga el cambio y viva Smart.
Well, it's official. Tonight, on this day, December 9th, 1991, News 5 made its first live broadcast of Belizean news, and we have continued each weeknight, accepting major holidays ever since. Earlier this week, we brought you a few nostalgic looks back and how we created our program. But tonight, we have the current crew. Some of the faces you will recognize, while others are people whose jobs almost never put them in front of the camera. So here we are, making the news in 2021.
It's Monday morning, we got important work to do, so let's go.
Yeah, I WhatsApped you just now about getting those on Facebook quickly. Ernesto is already edited, if you want to get that in the queue, or if you want to just wait until tonight when it's... So instead of doing a big editorial meeting in the morning the way they used to do, we're mostly just communicating via WhatsApp early in the morning, sometimes starting from as early as 6:30. We're sending messages back and forth about who's covering what, who's going where, who's going to need, a cameraman for various things.
So starting off my day, I've been assigned to the weekly police press brief, which will take me to the Raccoon Street headquarters, where we'll get an update of what has transpired over the weekend.
Okay, so what I'm doing right now is to work on some spillover news from last Friday's House meeting. I'm trying to get it out of the way because in the news industry, news happens at any time and we have to be prepared to move. So the earlier I get this done, then I'll be free to move on to whatever else comes my way.
Today, I'll be working on the National Digital Plan, the launch that is taking place at the Biltmore. I've also been given the task to work on the Welcome Home event for Miss Earth. Belize, for the first time, won actually the title of Miss Earth and Destiny Wagner. So I have that, and already I have assignments for tomorrow.
All right, so we are inside the Channel 5 studio at the front desk, and we're talking to some Gimme 5 participants. And so we have here with us
he is very active at this moment, and
operations team. I'm here at the Biltmore Plaza where the government of Belize is launching its digital plan, its national digital plan. So we're going to go in, sit in, listen on to some of the speeches that will be given to find out exactly what's going on. And then the Prime Minister is here, so we would see if maybe he'd be willing to give us some kind of comment on vaccination and the Sugar Industry Amendment Act that was recently launched. And then Minister Henry Charles Usher is here as well. And he can speak to us about the replacement for the Auditor General who has left and maybe that redistricting case. So let's see if they're going to give us some interview, okay? Let's go, guys.
In Belize, you get to a stage where you have won all the major races at least 3 times. What more is there to do at home?
So I'm here at the Marian Jones complex and we came to cover a signing. Kaya Katus, Councillor Kaya Katus has signed for a 1-year contract with LA Sweat and she'll be doing cycling at another level internationally for that US-based company. So we'll hear all about that more in the news.
Do you, like many families, does your family make it a tradition to sit in front of the TV and participate in giving?
Well, at home I can see my wife.
Yeah. She loves it?
What?
Yeah?
Certainly. Pedro, he also the men's office.
All right, so days looks different today. But moments ago, I just got done with an interview with some Give Me 5 contestants, and right after the interview, I'll get into sorting those interviews to get some of the stronger clips, some of the stronger bites out of those interviews for you to enjoy, and then I'll be writing around that to present the story in a way that is palatable, in a way that is enjoyable for the audience. I'll send that up to my editor after I finish voicing it. I'll send it up to my editor and he'll do the magic. A lot of the magic happens between this desk and where the editor does his editing.
We have about an hour and 15 minutes until the newscast actually happens live. So we're putting the finishing touches on all the stories. I've got a tentative rundown going in terms of story order and what we're going to run where. It's supposed to look real pretty, but it's a little. And the news assistant is starting to collate pages and to getting things ready for the anchor and the people in the control room.
The digital era will allow nationwide access to government services using electronic devices. All right, so I just finished recording the cards for the digital launch package. So now I take the script to George so that he can edit it. So off to George now.
What I'm doing is I'm cutting some bites for the news from House meeting on Friday. I'm given a script by the reporter. I find the corresponding file, and then we just use the ins and outs to find the bite that they want, and then we prepare it for the newscast.
This morning I went with Chris. He was the cameraman that I worked with today, and he's now editing my story that I did on Kaya Katus, a special announcement that she made. And now I'm working on a few other stories. Two of them are police stories, and another one that my news director has assigned.
You know me, stay active like always. I'm up to like what, 6 bites, 6 SOTs at 5:45. I'll be ready for 6 though. You best believe I will be ready.
This is preparation for News 5 Live before 6 o'clock. We have about 6 minutes, almost 5 minutes, and typically what that looks like is preparation. So you have your rundown, which is basically a long list of all the stories that we're supposed to be reading or presenting at news time. And then I have my headline intro and a whole lot of scripts on my desk. A lot of people always ask if I am reading from a prompter or what are the papers on my desk. So basically, yes, I do read from a prompter. There would be times where I would have to just impromptu read a script that's on my desk. And yeah, that's typically what it is.
We celebrate big at Channel 5. How big? It's our 30th anniversary.
All right, done by then. And open mic and cue. Zoom in. Continue.
Live for Monday, December 6th. I am Sabrina Daly. And that's the news. Tonight's broadcast is available in both text and streaming video at channel5police.com. You can also connect with us on our Facebook page at facebook.com/News5Live. I'm Sabrina Daly. Thanks for joining us. And from all of us here at News 5, please remember to wash your hands, keep your social distance, and stay safe. Good night.